Welcome to the session on assessment. Assessment has several purposes and includes to improve, that is, inform the teaching and learning decision. It's also there to establish the level at which the learner is, that is, investigate. It also formulates as a feedback, that is, to check the progress against the learning outcome. It also facilitates self-evaluation, where it encourages learners to make their own judgment about their performance. It also facilitates identification of knowing where to do an intervention or to focus on the material which one requires for diagnostic. It also allows to know where the learners are and how they can be helped. It also provides a learning opportunity to both the teacher and the learner. And finally, it is a motivation because it measures or it brings out the level at which the person is. So that is the purpose of assessment. And in CBC, we are having three types of assessment: assessment for learning, assessment of learning, and assessment as learning. And what is happening is there is a shift on the amount of a type of assessment because there's need to create a balance. You find that as of current, assessment of learning is covering a huge amount. Assessment for learning is at medium, and assessment as learning is very little. But the balance should shift so that we have assessment of learning to be little, that is summative, and assessment for learning and assessment as learning to be more, because we are using here assessment to learn. And therefore, this shift of assessment for learning brings a different focus of who is it or is not understanding a lesson. So you are using assessment to identify the performance of different students. You're also using it to identify the strengths of the student to see who needs what. You're also using it to bring out misconception during learning. So as you are teaching a concept, the way you probe with question, the responses will bring out any misconception which the learners could have. It also guides the teacher on the kind of feedback which you should give to the student. It also shows the kind of adjustment which you should make in your instruction so that you are able to guide the students in a differentiated manner. It also allows the teacher to group the students and know how they can add value to each other as they work together. And finally, it helps in terms of preparing for differentiation. So this is their purpose for assessment for learning. And rubrics have been used to assist assessment for learning because rubric, they guide the learner. For example, the rubric you can see is for young kids and they can use that rubric. But that is for a different group of learners of drawing. That is a task. And that is another rubric which can be used. So I like you to look at the tasks and the rubrics and see how can you match which rubric do you think goes with which task. Take a minute. Thank you. Let's check the answer and see if you got it right. That task will go with that rubric, and that task will go with that rubric, and that task will go with that rubric. Whatever your answer was, that was a learning opportunity. Now you can see how specific rubrics can be made for specific tasks based on the level of the learners. And these are given to the learners before they do a task so that they can be able to know the performance expected by the teacher. So, for example, this is a rubric about washing hands. And you can see it has different points. There are 3 descriptors: following steps, the order, and the time. And then for each descriptor, it has 4 levels, one for 1 point, another one for 2 points, another one for 3 points, another one for 5 points. For example, the performance of learners is like that. Would you say that the learners have got the same marks? Would you say the learners have the same performance? Think about it. From the rubric, we can see the performance has the same scores, but the competencies are different. Which one will be more helpful? Using a rubric or giving a score? Think about it. Thank you very much for this session. I'd like you to take 2 minutes to reflect. How will your pedagogical practice change with the new knowledge you have on assessment?